Warren taking flight while Bernie hits the skids. Trump and Modi take a trip. Now this is how foreign leaders are supposed to help a U.S. president. Dude, there's your car. The Mackinac motorcade won't help Trump win Michigan. I'm Jamal Simmons, and this is why you should care. Big news out of Iowa for E-Dub. That's what I call Elizabeth Warren. The latest Des Moines Register CNN Mediacom poll puts Warren in first place for the first time, just slightly, ever so slightly, ahead of former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders. Warren's got 22%, Biden comes in close behind at 20%, and Bernie Sanders, oh boy, the Iowa caucus surprise from 2016 has slid to third place. He's at 11%. No other candidate even reached double digits in that poll. Warren has been gaining ground on a national level as well. This may be in part due to a growing base for the Massachusetts senator. The Hill points out that black voters who have been slow to show support for Warren are warming to her. A recent NBC News Wall Street Journal poll found Elizabeth Warren in second place among black voters with 13%. And an Economist YouGov poll showed the senator's numbers among black voters rising to 11%. Now let's keep this all in perspective. Biden is still killing the game when it comes to black voters. His support is double digits ahead of any other Democrat. But Warren's also got some work to do when it comes to women. Axios recently conducted a swing voter focus group with Wisconsin women. It found that while they were keen on Warren's policies, they were not so keen on her personality. Now, the focus group is a statistically small sample, so it's got to be taken with a grain of salt, unlike a poll. But it does provide insight beyond the numbers into what some swing voters are thinking. Here's why you should care. Elizabeth Warren is from Massachusetts, and 4 of the last 5 Massachusetts politicians to run for president won the New Hampshire primary. If she also wins Iowa, and we're a far cry from knowing that just yet, but if she wins Iowa, we might see voters get more comfortable with her a lot faster. President Trump was in the hot seat this weekend after reports came out that he contacted the Ukrainian Prime Minister to dig up dirt on Joe Biden's son, Hunter. But it wasn't all negative news for the president. Mr. Trump got a chance to appeal to Indian American voters when he appeared on stage with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at a cultural rally in Houston, Texas.
I can tell you, you have never had a better friend as president than President Donald Trump. That I can tell you.
50,000 person crowd wasn't there for President Trump. They were there to celebrate Modi's win in this year's elections. But Trump didn't waste the chance to talk to these skeptical voters. He boasted about the tax cuts, the low unemployment rate, and securing the borders. And of course, he attacked Democrats. Now, why should you care? According to the Asian American voter survey, President Trump polled at about 28% positive job approval in 2018 with Indian American voters. 66% of those voters disapproved. That's an improvement over 2016, when an Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund poll reported that more than 80% of Indian Americans voted for Hillary Clinton. If rallying with Modi can help Donald Trump hold on to even a few more voters, it could make the difference in a few close states. Apart from the political optics, India and the U.S. are trading partners, and they're set to sign a trade deal soon that could potentially benefit American farmers and manufacturers. This could definitely be a plus for the nation and for Donald Trump. Last weekend, Republicans headed to Michigan for a conference on the party's future, but first they had to reckon with their past. Here's what the conservative Detroit News editorial board had to say about what happened to Michigan Republicans since President Trump's surprise victory there in 2016. Quote, "Even the ablest GOP spinner can't sugarcoat what happened here in 2018, they wrote. Republicans got thrashed up and down the ballot. They lost the governor's office, as well as both the Secretary of State and Attorney General's office. The piece went on to talk about state legislative offices and some of the boards. But that's just the lay of the land as Republicans descended on Mackinac Island to plot their prospects for the future. But they didn't get off to a great start. Let me tell you about Mackinac. It's a beautiful place. This place is pristine. No cars are allowed on the island. So people walk around, they ride bicycles, or they ride in horse-drawn carriages. I'm not kidding. They ride in horse-drawn carriages in the 21st century. So the island is this idyllic place where Republicans are gathering to plot how to reconnect with Michigan voters. And what happens? Vice President Mike Pence shows up with not one, not two, but 8 SUVs in a motorcade. Trust me, this is big news for people who live in Michigan. It is not the way to get started when you're trying to patch things up. But why should you care? President Trump won an election in 2016 arguably because of 3 big industrial states worth 46 electoral votes. He won Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin by about 77,000 votes. But the winds look like they're blowing in the other direction right now. Since 2016, the trade wars have added some uncertainty to the economic outlook, and there's even a UAW strike that could shave off some of the current growth. All other things being equal, if Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin flip on President Trump, he won't be headed back to the White House in 2021. And speaking of Michigan and Wisconsin, well, let's just not talk about football. Thanks for watching Hill TV on YouTube. Be sure to click subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we post new videos. And head to thehill.com for all the latest political news.